Good morning, Raider Nation! It's your boy, Mikey Raider, trying out a new series where maybe every day I get you caught up to date on the latest Raider news, or I give a lot of Derek Carr updates. How about that? Because I am a Derek Carr fan, stan, a Kardashian, whatever you haters want to call me, that's what I am. This is Raider Football Talk. Again, hopefully each and every day, in the morning or whenever, I get y'all a video, I give you my opinion, I get you caught up to date on whatever's happening in terms of the Raiders. From my perspective, let's get right into it. We're going to talk about Derek Carr and his Pro Bowl appearances and what happened and how he was heated and salty and self-depressive of his own self and abilities. It was a little bit of a weird type day. But it was a good day for Derek Carr, and his stock possibly went up. We're also, at the end of it, we're going to talk about some scenarios with the trade. Can he be traded? Will he be released? Can he be cut? Will they keep him if he gets injured? Well, there's a lot going on. We're going to try to make this video as quick as possible. And let's just start it and get right into it. Derek Carr, y'all know what happened. He's gone from the Raiders, put out a statement. He was cut very poorly. I don't need to catch you up to date. He's a Raider. I love him. I'm going to miss him. But people want to know what's going on from his perspective. He's not talking. His family is talking for him, but not a lot. And he's definitely hurting because he believed and loved in the Raiders 1,000%. Whether you all liked him or you didn't, I would hope that you guys would try to respect the dude for what he tried to accomplish with our team. All right, that being said, I'm not going to continue the divide train that's happening for everybody. And I just quickly wanted to say to the fans that can't even respect what he tried to do, y'all are disgraceful. You guys are getting rid of your own. He's like a family member. You're turning your back on him. It's okay to let him go. It's okay to wish him well. And it's okay to no longer want to see him on the field for his play, according to you. It's okay. But stop turning on your own, man. Nobody's bigger than the Shield. What the hell does that statement even mean? We built the Shield. We, the fans and the players. That's all I'm going to talk about that. Stop dividing everybody, man. We're supposed to be a family. And when we lose a family member, because it's just business, even though it is personal, but it's also business. But it's business I don't agree with and I don't like. But we got to start respecting people when they leave and wish them the best. Y'all are going to miss the man more than the quarterback. I know that for a fact. All right. So, Derek Carr, out of nowhere about a week ago, got announced to his 4th Pro Bowl. And then everybody started talking on Twitter about how Derek Carr is going to his 4th Pro Bowl. And the Raiders don't look good. He made a 4th Pro Bowl. Let's be honest, a lot of players go to the Pro Bowl, and they needed players because players were not going or opting out or whatever. But Derek Carr got the opportunity to go to his 4th Pro Bowl to play in the passing accuracy competition in which he just did the other day. Okay? Derek Carr, some are saying he was released and benched or going to be traded because of his accuracy. Because he throws a lot of interceptions. He threw 14 this year, tied with Dak Prescott. Whatever. But, he's the inaccurate quarterback in the league. That's what some haters and people are saying and all that. So Derek Carr had something to prove in this game, in this accuracy contest. Let's be honest. Derek Carr has done well with accuracy in every Pro Bowl contest that he has appeared in terms of that factor. Derek Carr is an accurate quarterback. Now, the thing is, people are saying, the haters online, well, can he do that with 4 people in his face? The offensive line was top 10 this year. So Derek Carr has no excuses. Look, guys, it is what it is. But Derek Carr is a pretty accurate quarterback. He can make all the throws. He is a good quarterback. But apparently, to some of y'all, he just couldn't get it done when he needed to. It's okay. Let's move on. But he was invited to play in the Pro Bowl, the accuracy contest, against like Geno Smith and the NFC as a part of Peyton Manning's team. All right. when he showed up, everybody's like, he ain't wearing no logos. He ain't wearing no logos. Well, I'm going to debunk that myth because there is a logo of the Raiders on the T-shirt that he wore when he was throwing the balls. It's like a white logo or a red logo of the Raiders on each of their left arms. So he was wearing the Raiders logo. But maybe purposely before the actual event, when he had to take off his hoodies, he wore a Pro Bowl NFC or NFL sweatshirt. And it looks like he might have had like a Fresno State hat to match the outfit, or it might have been an AFC type, an NFL Pro Bowl type hat. I don't know. But the joke online was that David Carr posted a picture of somebody saying he's going to root for Derek Carr in the stands, but he's going to be wearing a logo of the NFL, instead of a Raider logo because, they're hurting. And then Derek Carr responded on that Twitter, or on that tweet, and he wrote, "That's hilarious." So that plan went into effect. Whatever David Carr joke about not having a Raider logo at the Pro Bowl event, let's be honest, it went to Derek Carr, and he possibly planned it out, but because the NFL made the logos on the shirts, he had to wear that logo. So I'm debunking it a little bit. He did have a Raider logo, but it was nice to see Derek Carr represent the Raiders in the fashion that he did in doing a really, really good job in that Pro Bowl accuracy contest. Now, let's look at some of the information from that contest. And I wrote this the other day on Twitter. Derek Carr will participate in his 4th Pro Bowl. He will be showcasing his accuracy tomorrow in the precision passing event as a part of Peyton Manning's squad. I wrote Peyton, I think, wrong without an E. I'm going to go, and then I wrote this, I'm going to go out on a limb, despite Derek Carr having the lowest stat of accuracy on the board from the other players. I'm going to predict him the winner because he has rested arms. I should have wrote because he's good at accuracy and he's pissed off. But you had Tyler Huntley in there, 67% accuracy this season. Trevor Lawrence, 66.3. Derek Carr, the lowest of those three. Geno Smith for the NFC, 69.8. Kirk Cousins, 65.9. And Jared Goff, 65.1. Now, I told everybody about the event, and then I also posted that Derek Carr scored the most in the precision passing contest in round 1. So let's try to watch that from afar. I don't want to put on any audio, but here let's get it started from the beginning.
Since he left,
let me turn down the audio. Forgive me. This is Derek Carr's 2-minute drill. 4 points there, hitting that one. Came out on fire. First 2 passes hit the 4s, man. Look at that. He went for the top 1 to 5, didn't get it. He goes for the 3, misses it. But now he goes for the 3 again. Bam, nails it right away. Bam, goes for the number 3. There you go. You notice he got, there it is, the moving number 4 for Derek Carr, number 4. Gets it. Now the moving one, he goes for the top one, the 5-pointer on the top. What a fantastic event for Derek Carr to maybe raise his stock, raise some eyebrows, and show the Raiders that, look, I'm an accurate quarterback. I can get it done when they believe in me. When they give me a chance and I can practice without any hesitation, I can get it done. That's what I take from this. Maybe you guys don't take that, but that's what I take from this. Okay? Derek Carr can get it done. He did a fantastic job. He looked really, really good. And even Davante Adams was speaking on it when he wrote, "Stop playing with him. That's my guy." Although there's rumors that you might be trying to get Aaron Rodgers coming to the team, which is okay, because we're going to need a quarterback. But we'll talk about that on another video. But Derek Carr impressed many. And then Twitter was talking. Then the haters were coming out. Let's see him do that with 5 people running after him or blah, blah, blah. Like without a defender. Relax. Just enjoy the moment that Derek Carr proved something to some people in a skills competition and won it for the AFC. You guys got to try to respect that at least a little bit. All right. Then after he was asked he did an interview. I don't know if I got it on there. Well, I don't know if I have it on here officially, but he was asked during the event, like I said, somebody said, give him that money or give me that money. Then he was told by Ryan Clark, I don't think I can I don't have the video right now prepared, forgive me. You guys have all seen it by now, but he said, man, you tore it up or something like that. Have you ever been on fire in Las Vegas? By host Ryan Clark, and then Derek Carr responded, nope. I guess that's why I'm going somewhere else. Those are shots fired. It was a little bit self-deprecating, let's be honest with you, for him to say that. It sounded a little self-deprecating, but it's okay. Those are shots fired. You get it? All the people give him excuses that he's not accurate. You know, he never comes up for big games and this and that, even though he's the comeback winning quarterback for the Raiders of all time, you know, in the fourth quarter. And statistically, the greatest Raider quarterback we've ever had. It's okay. But he said that in an interview, and that just proved that he's still salty. He's very, very hurt. Derek Carr is an insecure person like me. We hold a lot of grudges. We try to let it go, but it takes a long, long time. And Derek Carr is one of those human beings. Now, let's quickly watch an interview from Derek Carr after he spoke with Ryan Clark and said, hey, I guess that's why I'm being traded, or that's why I'm going somewhere else. He had an interview with another NFL reporter, and I haven't watched the whole thing, so let's do this live.
I'm thankful for my time here in Las Vegas and in Oakland, and I'll always be thankful and grateful, but there comes a time when it's time to move on, and that's this time. And so I'm excited, can't wait to see where God takes us next. I'm gonna give that city everything that I have, but for just one more time, you know, I get to represent the Raiders, and you know, I'm excited to do that for our fans, and to get to say goodbye in our stadium. Didn't know what my next time in the stadium would be, but for it being the 4th Pro Bowl, that's a pretty good time.
Derek, there's been
pretty nice little humble statement. He said he wanted to represent the Raiders for the last time, and again, that kind of debunks the logo theory, but you know, it's something good to talk about because he did wear the logo. Maybe not walking into the stadium.
a lot said about how it ended for you in Las Vegas, how they handled it. Is there something that you would want to share about, from your perspective, how it all went down?
I mean, I think there's a time and a place for it. You know, and I'm grateful for everyone that reached out that wanted to give me the platform to share my side. You know, but I just don't feel like I should. You know, I'm just gonna continue to hold my head up. I'm gonna continue to speak graciously to everybody and about everybody, because I don't have anything bad to say. And so, you know, there's things that obviously.
I mean, I love you, Derek Carr, but I gotta call bullshit sometimes, because I know you say you don't want to speak out, but your family does it for you, and I know you tell them to stop, but sometimes I guarantee you, you're like, you know, let me get that dig in. Just like after this, you kind of got that dig in, that sarcastic dig in, where you're like, well, I guess that's why I'm going elsewhere. I mean, let's be honest, man. There's certain moments where you just, I'm going to throw it out there because I'm hurt. I'm pissed off, and I'm going to be sarcastic, and I'm going to be mean. Then when you have to possibly take accountability for it, you're like, no, I'm not mad at anybody. No, it's not me. I didn't mean it that way. But you did. You did. You're like me. I'm an a-hole. I'm an a-hole sometimes, Carr. Trust me. I'm an a-hole. I'm humble. I'm gentle. I have a big heart. I'm insecure just like you. I feel bad. I get over it. I try to make the best decisions always. But you know what? Every once in a while, I come out like an a-hole. And I'm going to start doing that on my other channel, where I'm going to go into some news quotes or videos and giving my opinion on politics, the news, the media. If you want to get to that career channel, check it out below. I'll start having some videos next week. Like there was a balloon today, supposedly a Chinese spy balloon over Montana. Chinese spy balloon. Come on. Oh, y'all are idiots if you believe that story. All right, but let's move on. It's pretty funny. Oh, he said there's a time and a place, when he can speak on what really happened. Because there's a lot of stuff that you guys don't know that happened. Don't believe the media's narrative or Josh McDaniels' narrative. Again, he was putting pressure on Derek Carr from day one, not respecting him, not giving him play calls correctly. He was testing Derek Carr in every fashion. And he already knew Derek Carr was going to blow it. But he never gave him any road, any track. People say, well, he wouldn't do that. Yes, he would. Derek Carr would probably say, hey, can we do this play? Can we try this? No, I want it like my playbook. Do it exactly like I tell you, or else I'll cut you. There was rumors that he was going to be cut weeks earlier from Josh Jacobs in an interview. I'm sorry, Max Crosby in an interview mentioned it the other day. We'll talk about that in a minute. Let's watch the rest of this.
The hardest part about being human is that you want to share and you want to make everything right and all that kind of stuff, but it's not going to fix anything, So for me, I'll just let it be what it is, and I'll just keep loving people and give my next city my best.
All right.
So there it is. That was his interview after the game. I appreciate what he said. Again, he said there's a time and a place, and he wants to get out the truth. Apparently, there's some lies that are out there, and you guys know the lies. The article from, I forgot who it was. Oh, yeah, Stool Pigeon Hondo Carpenter saying teammates were shower on him, that he wasn't really leading in the locker room, that they were getting, tired of his antics. What the hell you trying to do to Derek Carr? Oh, Derek Carr wasn't all in this year. Yeah, I wouldn't be all in either with Josh McDaniels. How can you be all in with a coach that's not all in with you? That puts you under the fire from day one and doesn't respect you. Again, whether you agree with Derek Carr not playing for the Raiders, that's fine. But the scenario in which and the way it happened is really, really bad. All right, let's just go to the quick storylines from that. Then David Carr, since they like to speak out for Derek and the family on all the occasions, which I wish they would stop it, but I'm like a kid in a candy store. Every time they do these type of cryptic posts or whatever, I'm like, ooh, because I want to know the truth. I would love if Derek Carr wrote a book, like one of you guys mentioned, if Derek Carr would write a book and tell us everything that happened from his perspective. But guys, remember, let's be honest. Derek Carr's not right all the time. Josh McDaniels not right all the time. There's three things in life. There's your truth, there's my truth, then there's the truth. So, you guys figure that one out. But David Carr responded to a question to him from Dave. He said, is there any avenue whereby the Raiders realize what a massive mistake this is and apologize to Derek Carr publicly and try to run it back next season? Seems like a long shot, but worth asking. I'm going to miss this guy. David Carr emphatically said no. Well, that's the truth. He knows the situation. Derek Carr will not go back no matter what happens. And we're going to have to talk about that in the trade scenarios coming up in a minute or two. Because there's a lot of stuff going on in terms of that statement. And then these clowns were spotted at the Pro Bowl. We got Mark Davis and Roger Goodell talking to each other. I wonder why. Well, it's because it was at the stadium, Mikey. No, it's because they're in cahoots. There's storylines that they want to get out there. And Mark Davis wants to be the stool pigeon for Roger Goodell to make money to be the next billionaire. It's just, again, the Raider Stadium was the first stadium to mandate their fans to show proof of the vaccinacy. The Raider Stadium was the first stadium to do it publicly. They had a whole press conference and everything to mandate it in 2021 for their fans. They were the first team and stadium to make it mandatory. And in total, out of all the teams, because I was looking into this story, there was only 7 teams that made it mandatory for their fans to show the proof of vacancy. You know what I'm talking about. To show it, to go watch a game. There was only 7 stadiums. It's not even legal if the government even tried to make it a legal mandate, it's not legal. But the Raiders are a private company. The stadium is a private company. The state of Nevada approved it. So whatever their policies are, even though it's not a law, it's a policy. Policies can't trump the Constitution or segregation. But whatever, I guess it's legal in that way. But the Raiders were the first stadium to do it. And I don't want to let you guys know that how many people, and they were giving out the vacancies at the stadium. So if you wanted to watch a game and you weren't vacancied, they were giving it at the stadium. And I read a report. I wish I had it on screen. I got to keep my stuff better. But apparently 4 people passed away that got the vacancy at the stadium. Maybe later in life, like a month later, 3 weeks later. But apparently, I read a report that 4 people passed away that literally got the vacancy at the Raider Stadium in order to watch a game. So that's possibly 4 people that passed away. Again, I can't prove that it's from that. I can't do it. That possibly passed away because they just wanted to watch a football game and they were forced to show proof of a vacancy at the stadium and to get it there to watch a game. That hurts my heart. That's all I'm going to say. But these clowns, man, what are they up to? What are they up to? All right, let's get right into it. There's a lot going on with the Derek Carr trade. Will he be traded? Will he be cut? There's a lot of misinformation out there, and I'm probably going to give you some more misinformation, but we're going to have a good time doing it. These are the scenarios for Derek Carr. I keep reading online, oh, he might be traded. They're going to trade him. Remember, Derek Carr has a no-trade clause. He would have to waive the no-trade clause to go to a team. How many teams are interested? They have to trade him by February 14th, 3 days after the Super Bowl. If he's not traded by then, again, if he is traded, he has to approve it. But he has to be traded by that day or released. And then he'll get like $40-something million in a contract, and he'll be a part of the Raiders roster. If they release him, they save like $35 million in cap space. It's only a $5 million dead cap hit, something like that. I don't know all the numbers. I'm not going to get into it. But if he is traded, whatever team would have to take on his contract, the $40 million, and if he approved the trade, again, what compensation will go to who? Will Derek Carr let himself be traded? And then there was just some information the other day that they were not allowing Derek to seek a trade, meaning Derek would likely call some teams and say, hey, can you talk to the Raiders? Because I'd like to play for you. Can you and the Raiders work out a trade for me? I'd like to play for you. Apparently the Raiders did not give permission to Derek Carr to seek a trade for them on his own. So that's cutting Derek Carr off in some possibilities to be traded. Why would they do that? Well, again, Derek Carr's possibly not giving up his no-trade clause. So then in another FU to Derek Carr, they're like, we know you want to be traded, and we know you want to go to other teams, but since you're not telling us you're probably not going to waive your no-trade clause, unless it's a team you pick, we're not going to allow you to talk to that other team to facilitate a trade. We're not going to allow you to do that. So if we trade you, it's going to be on our terms, and then hopefully, you give up the no-trade clause. I don't know. There's some sort of battles going on right there. All right? Now, if the Raiders release him, he'll become a free agent. Any team can pick him up, renegotiate a contract. The Raiders get no compensation for it. Then again, if Derek Carr is salty, why would he allow a trade to a team that he doesn't want to play for? He probably wouldn't. Even if there is a team that he likes that he maybe gets traded to from the Raiders, and he does want to allow that trade to happen before February 14th, he's going to take less money, and he's also going to be hurting the team because they're probably going to have to give up a second-round, a third-round pick or something to get Derek Carr, so they're losing compensation for Derek Carr's new team. Would Derek Carr want to hinder his new team that he's just joining? I don't think so. So they might be at a standstill. And that's what it looks like is happening. There's also rumors that Derek Carr will still be kept on the roster, not even released before February 14th. There's rumors that he might be being kept on the roster, a la like what they did to Baker Mayfield a couple of years ago, where even though he wants to be traded, he publicly spoke out that he's leaving the team or he's going to be gone, where they just keep him on the team and they take over his contract. That would hurt the Raiders in terms of draft picks, free agency, and everything. And then maybe they can trade Derek Carr later, you know, closer to the season, after the draft, after they look at free agency, some quarterbacks. But Derek Carr would get the $40 million. And then maybe after the draft and all that, then once their plans come to fruition, then the Raiders can trade Derek Carr. But again, he has a no-trade clause. So it would have to be the right trade for Derek, for every other team, and then Derek Carr would have to approve it. It's a pretty insane scenario that's going on. And I'm very, very proud that even though the contract Derek Carr got was for a 1 year, I'm proud that Derek Carr got the no-trade clause in there because, in a way, he has a little bit of leverage and power to screw over Mark Davis and Josh McDaniels a little bit for what they're doing. And let's be honest, a lot of people are saying, well, Derek Carr knew what he was getting into. Derek Carr knew. Yeah, he did. He knew. That's why he got the no-trade clause. But Derek Carr is a Raider, wanted to be a Raider, felt like he could work with Josh McDaniels, and he felt like he could make it happen. Derek Carr was going all in on a 1-year deal. Even though Derek Carr technically could have played this entire year under his previous contract. He didn't need an extension or a new contract. And that's what burns my britches about the excuses for Josh McDaniels. People keep saying, well, Josh McDaniels didn't do this purposely. Josh McDaniels, you know, believed in Derek Carr and all of this happened. Nuh-uh. Because here's the truth. If Josh McDaniels is sabotaging Derek Carr, which many believe he is, as I do as well, and he had Derek Carr on a 1-year contract already for this past year, he didn't have to give him an extension or Ziegler. So I'm going to be honest. They believed in Derek Carr, and they wanted to, but they wanted to test him, just like they did with Josh Jacobs. But for whatever reason, Derek Carr didn't play up to Josh McDaniels' standards, and they didn't get along. Probably the first 3, 4, 5 games, Josh McDaniels and Derek Carr are already going at it in the locker room for play calling, for losing games, for whatever's happening that Josh McDaniels has a track record for. This looks like the exact same scenario that Josh McDaniels did on every player. But somewhere around week 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 or whatever, Josh McDaniels knew he was done with Derek Carr. And Max Crosby just spoke out on the Bussin' with the Boys podcast the other day, and he spoke about weeks before the Pittsburgh game. He said, oh man, he talked about the experience of the day that Derek Carr was benched and not coming in and going home. Max Crosby said in that interview, but he said that, he goes, yeah, there was rumors in like weeks earlier that something might be going on. There was rumors weeks earlier that something might be going on. Again, that's before the Pittsburgh game, Seahawks game. And there's rumors online as well from that article from Hondo Carpenter that Derek Carr changed plays. People say he could always change a play. No. Josh McDaniels in the second half of almost every game that we were winning started play calling and doing some weird stuff that just wasn't working, and it wasn't even working for Derek Carr. And we end up letting them come back into the game, if not win it. From the article that Derek Carr changed plays in that Seattle game in the second half, which we won. Basically, remember about 3 months ago, Derek Carr needs to go rogue. Because if Josh McDaniels is not working correctly with age, for whatever reason, Derek Carr needs to go rogue. Well, that's what Derek Carr did. I can't prove that the end result was a victory. And that was weeks earlier before the Pittsburgh game. So think about that Max Crosby said that there was rumblings about Derek Carr possibly being benched or whatever weeks earlier before the Pittsburgh game. Now, around that time, it's the Seattle game. Around that time, remember right after Derek Carr, was emotional in the press conference saying, I wish there was people in that locker room that felt the way I did, that knows how to win, to not change it up. Remember, he said that. He goes, they got to learn how to win. They got to learn how to change it up, and they got to do it the same way we used to do it. And then even Devontae said it in press conferences. The game plan changes. Josh Jacobs said it as well. People are always calling out Derek Carr. No, he goes, they stopped doing what they were doing that was working. That's not on Derek Carr. Not all the time, it's not. But long story short, Derek Carr went rogue. Derek Carr knew he was gone, knew that Josh McDaniels was going to do something, so Derek Carr started going rogue, taking his own opportunities to change plays in games, trying to get a victory, and I guarantee you Josh McDaniels and him had it out. Had it out. And then you could even look at Derek Carr's after the Seattle game, look at the press conference or the victory speech on Raiders.com where, Josh McDaniels talks and they got a big victory in the locker room. Watch Derek Carr's face. In all of these, the later ones, Derek Carr is like morbid. Especially after that Seattle game. He goes, yeah, he agrees with Josh McDaniels, but he's like this. Because I guarantee you Josh McDaniels called him out for changing a play or doing what he didn't play call for, whatever. So their relationship ended. It was booted. It was done. For a long story short, it was done. But here's one little funny thing. If Derek Carr would get injured in the Pro Bowl, if he's still doing some activities, maybe dodgeball or anything, if he gets injured, his $40 million will be guaranteed. Derek Carr, why don't you go out there and get a little hammy? little hammy. And then you'll have to stay with the Raiders. You'll get your $40 million guaranteed, and you might be able to stay at home. But again, there is the possibility that the Raiders keep him on the roster, try to trade him later, take on the $40 million contract, and maybe Derek Carr sits at home on the couch this entire season. I don't know. He'll sit at home with $40 million. But I know he wants to play somewhere else. I don't know where that will be. In my opinion, I would like to see him go to the Colts. I feel like that would be a good opportunity. But there's a lot of scenarios that are going to be happening in the next couple weeks, and we're going to get a lot more clarity on this Derek Carr situation in the next week or two, especially after the Super Bowl. Stay tuned to Raider Football Talk for more of my insight, my scenarios, my talk from my perspective. I love you, Raider Nation. Go out there, take care of your family, give them a big hug, and I'll see you on the next Raider Football Talk video. Hit that like, that subscribe button, and do your boy a favor. I'm going to have memberships coming up. Please consider becoming a member to support your boy. Have a great day. Mikey Raider out.